It ain't got a song yet, bro.
They say we live.
Oh well. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Look like we having some technical difficulties here. Uh it's saying we wasn't live. Now we live. So what's up, y'all? Uh how's it going? This is sports entertainment and extra shit. CSEE Sports Entertainment and Extra Shit. Sometimes you
Mhm.
got some technical difficulties when you're doing this thing, man. It was on my screen telling me we wasn't live yet. I had to click it when we came on, man. Just weird, man. Fix my stuff. But anyway, it's Siege, man. What's going on? I'm with my man E Carter. What's going on, E?
Oh man, what's up with it, man? You know that technical stuff always happen, man. But that's what happens when you go on live. Anything can pop up.
Yeah, you already know, man. But we live. We about to be extra, extra live when we get into these topics. So first, man, how was your Thanksgiving?
It was good, man. I smoked the duck for the first time,
That's what's jumping.
and it was great. It was definitely great. It came out perfect. Had some friends over. We ate good, chill, played some dominoes, listened to music, had some good bonding time, and kicked it. It was actually pretty good. How about yours?
Man, mine was cool. I had two of my sisters came down. We just made it a thing. I had my kids, you know what I'm saying? So that was cool too. They enjoyed it. So we had a great time, great food. You know me, I'm always with the turkey and the lamb and stuff like that. So we had that jumping. I didn't make a duck this year, but next year probably add that to the menu depending on how big everything grow. From this year. So yeah, man. Shit, that's good that your Thanksgiving went well. I know you watch some games. You watch them games.
Yeah, I watched a couple of them, man. Usually Thanksgiving, like you might only get like one good game, and that's kind of what we had on Thanksgiving. I watched that Raiders and Cowboys game, but other than that, that was pretty much about it for real.
Yeah, man. Same here, man. Same here. So yeah, let's go ahead and dive into it. Our first topic for today is going to be OSU versus that other team that shall not be named. So I'm gonna let you start that one off, man. Go ahead and say what you got to say about that one, brother.
That was some bull. I ain't even gonna front. That was it was. I mean, it was a good game. I know you can't win them all. You know what I'm saying? That's being a O State fan, but we would love to beat up on them every time we come across that team. But they, as a team, they look good, man. They came up, they showed out. They was at home. They had their fans and everybody else rocking, and we just didn't get that dub this time, man. I don't know, but we got. Of course, it's always some upperclassmen on the team, but we got some young guys that's just going to experience. So I think next year, as far as Ohio State goes, it's going to be more to what we used to as O State fans.
Yeah, I agree with that as far as next year go. We knew that once Harbaugh got there, it was kind of like eventually, something would happen with the Wolverines or whatever, the way they would start getting better. It seemed like this was the year for that, even though, a lot of people thought it would be sooner. I thought that just that running game up the middle, the same thing I have been saying about the Browns when we play certain teams this year, like when we played the Chargers, it's like you let that run game go up the middle, and eventually you're gonna get tired when you're not, making those adjustments and flying to that ball like you should be. We just allowed them to they outworked us, to be honest with you. They just outworked us. I thought that was the major telltale. It seemed like they wanted it more. You know what I mean? So you see all of these plays happen to where like we could have made plays. Like we could have made plays. The third quarter we went scoreless and they put up two touchdowns. They just outworked us, man, and outworked those state. And I just thought that was the basically the telltale. I thought it was the effort in terms of maybe not even just effort, maybe skill set, but it just they wanted it more. You seen with every play, every sack, every time they heard the quarterback, the energy was up. You know what I mean? So I just felt like that was the major difference for me when I'm watching the screen. I'm watching it and I see more fire in terms of how bad they wanted it versus how bad it seemed that Ohio State wanted it. But continuing on with these college topics, man, this one is going to be a little interesting, I guess. But we'll talk about college coaching changes. So we saw Brian Kelly is taking over the duties at LSU from Ed Ogeron, or he was the head coach before, and I think they had an interim now. But anyway, taking over the college duties at LSU, and then not Brian Kelly, I just said Brian Kelly. Lincoln Riley is going to USC. So I was interested to see what you thought about USC's ceiling now that Oklahoma's coach is going there, and then Brian Kelly going over to LSU.
Um, at the end of the day, I mean, it's kind of hard to say what somebody's ceiling is right now. You know what I mean? Because especially when it comes to college football, because it all comes down to the recruitment and it all comes down to the players. So you can have you can have a 5-star coach, but 3-star talent. You know what I mean? So, and with that being said, that coach is only going to go as far as his talent, as far as the talent of the team will allow him to go. You got powerhouse schools, you playing in big games. Expectations are higher at some of these schools, and it's about trying to get that recruitment. Now, if you come in and you one of those coaches that get those 4 or 5-star recruits, especially at coming in going into some of these bigger schools, then it's going to be really hard to say what their ceiling is. Um, could they both be next year pushing for a national championship? Possibly. Could it be as soon as next year? Will it be a couple years down the road? I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's going to come down to that recruitment process and what type of players they get coming into the organization to see how they're really going to bounce back or elevate the program.
Yeah, I agree there with the recruitment. I think that's more so going to be an issue for Lincoln Riley going from Oklahoma to USC. Just for the simple fact, USC was one of those top tier programs, especially when we were like really diving into college football. When we were still in high school and stuff like that. You see those Pete Carroll USC programs, and they were at the top. They were at the top of the NCAA. You know what I mean? The Reggie Bushes, the Matt Leinerts, the Mike Williamses, all of those players. You see that they were at the top of the game. Now they're not, and then you have Lincoln Riley, who's considered to be an offensive mastermind in college football. He's going over there, and he's going to have that duty of taking that high powered offense back to USC. Now the problem with the USC is he going to be able to get those top tier defensive recruits like we saw back then when Pete Carroll was recruiting for USC back then. Um, I think I think it's going to be a little bit easier for Brian Kelly just because his cachet is moving along with him. You see what he did in Cincinnati before he went to Notre Dame, and then Notre Dame, turned into a contender, and then now he's going to LSU, and LSU is not far removed from a national championship. So it's like, okay, you could feasibly say that the talent is less bare there, and then he can go and put some of those pieces together to to propel, I think, LSU a little bit faster than Lincoln Riley can at USC. Now, that's not to say that he won't go to USC and bring that offense there immediately. I'm not saying that their cupboard is completely bare, but I am saying that I think it'll be a little bit easier for Brian Kelly going to LSU versus, especially just because of the most recent. Like he did literally just a year or two off of a championship. So I think it'll be a little bit easier for him. All right, man. Moving along to my pain point of the day, I guess. Browns versus Ravens. Browns versus Ravens, man. Go ahead and go with this one. I'm gonna let them have the good news first, and then I'm gonna bring them with the bad news, man.
Well, the good news is the Ravens won. That's the fantastic news. That's why that's what we're here for. We're here because the Ravens won. But now overall, it was a good game. It was a defensive game. Um, lot of offensive miscues on both sides, on both teams. You know what I mean? Lamar Jackson is the first quarterback since 2013 to throw 4 picks and win the game. Uh, the last person to do it, I think, was Andy Dalton. So, I mean, I guess is with football and some of these stats, I think they just kind of come in and just be making stuff up. I mean, I guess analytics playing that, like, okay, once you throw two or more picks in the game, then you're supposed to lose that game. I guess whatever. We end up coming out with the dub. The defense bailed us out. Uh, in the clutch, Adafe Owe is getting bigger and bigger in these moments. Each time he's in these moments, I think he's going to be a. If he could stay healthy and keep progressing this game, he's going to be a dope asset for the future. Um, and my man Mark Andrews, man, he was out there showing out, getting pass interference, getting pulled down one hand, and it was a catch. It wasn't like it hit the ground or anything to put us in the red zone. And a huge scramble play right after that for a touchdown to the same guy. Like it was definitely had its highlights and its oh my god moments. You know that the fans, us as fans, like to see, especially when it's your team. Uh, and we just came out with the dub. It's cool. I ain't gonna get the big kid yet, but I am gonna pull my broom out of the closet though.
Man, put that broom back in there, man.
Now, for the people that's listening that don't know, that don't understand that reference, uh, if you're a football fan, you know when you play your division rivals, you have a chance to sweep them. So you know you play them twice in the regular season. So yeah, we got this first game. So let's pull out. You know, I'm not using it yet, but I might pull it out real quick.
I feel you, man. You deserve to be hyped. Now I'm gonna bring the dome and go on, man, because this game was terrible. Like if you look at the stats, you would think that like why didn't the Cleveland Browns win this game? Like Baker Mayfield was 18 to 37. That's not great, but they had a bunch of drops, 247 yards and a touchdown. The rushing yards is where I would just what grind my gears. Like that is really, really, really. I was sitting there throwing stuff like run the ball, bro. Like run the damn ball. You got Kareem Hunt with 7 carries and 20 yards, or 7 carries and 20 yards. Like you didn't even try. Nick Chubb, 8 carries, 16 yards. Again, you didn't even try. You know what I'm saying? Like we come in the game. I think we came in the game with number one. I think y'all came in with number two at rushing. Like we had took over the rushing since y'all had y'all recent injury history and that all of that shuffling y'all was doing that running back.
At running back.
But 7 carries for 20 yards, 8 carries for 16 yards. Like, what the hell was you thinking, Kevin Stefanski? Like, come on now. Like, are you serious, bro? Like, are you really serious right now? That's like you coming in the game and you got Derrick Henry and you like, you know what? I think today we're just gonna give you 10 carries. We're just gonna give you 10 carries today, and we're gonna throw the ball. And then you see, and then here's the kicker about that. So you got those total. Let me just tell y'all total because Baker Mayfield had 2 carries for 4 yards. So total we have 40 yards rushing. 40 yards rushing for the top rushing team in the NFL, which tells me one, you didn't try, and two, your play calling was trash. Here's the other kicker too. Baker Mayfield is I'm ready to just be like, okay, bro, like this, you getting a little weird here, Baker. You still overthrowing passes, of course. Everybody overthrows one. We saw Lamar overthrow a few, but then your defense holds the Ravens to 16 points. If you can hold them to 16 points, and you have Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb, and you rush them more, you tire out the defense. At least you try to tire out the defense. you could be successful with 16 points. All you got to do is score 17. Like, you know what I'm saying? You had 10. You had 10. So it's just like, come on, man. And then how is the play action boot supposed to work, which is Baker's strength, when you only rush for 40 yards? Like that just ticked me off. But yeah, anyway, we shot our own self, shot ourselves in the foot, so to speak, because we didn't do what we were supposed to do, and we abandoned the run, which that ticked me off. And then the other thing I gotta say is eventually when you got quarterbacks like a Lamar Jackson or Patrick Mahomes, those type Aaron Rodgers, those type of quarterbacks, when you try to when you giving them the game, when you say, okay, we're not going to do what we want to do, we're going to do what you are telling us to do, you know what I mean? Eventually they figure a way out. So that's why he had 4 interceptions and won the game, because you gave him the game. You say, here you go. You can keep throwing this. You can keep throwing. We're not going to score. So you can throw these interceptions. We're not going to score. We're going to give the ball back to you. We're not going to run the clock out. Why would we do that? We don't even want to run today. You know what I mean? We don't want to run today. Why would we run? You know what I'm saying? So we gave the game because you have the quarterbacks like Lamar Jackson was going to say, okay, well, you're just going to give me the game then? All right, well, I'm going to take it. And eventually they'll make one play. So if we could have made one of those drives, one of those 4 interception drives, it turned them into a touchdown, we would have had 10 points off of turnovers, because we only had 3. We only had 3 points off of those 4 interceptions. So if we had 10 points, we win by 1. So you just had to make one play, just one. You could have made one spectacular play or something, got us in, or ran the damn ball to milk the clock, and we wouldn't even be sitting here. So to me, it's incompetence a little bit, and it's a little bit of just not sticking with what you're supposed to be sticking with.
But yeah, you also going up against a top 10 and top 5 in rushing. I think we number 1 or number 2 in rushing defense. So yeah, you might be number 1, but you going up against a number 1, number 2 team on the other side too. You know what I'm saying? Your strength on offense is also our strength on defense. So it's like it's strength versus strength at that point. So if we take you out of your element to where, hey, no, y'all not gonna run the ball, you're gonna have to put it in Baker's hands, and then y'all kind of come back and letting us know that same thing too. Like, all right, well, we're gonna let Lamar Jackson throw. So he threw the ball, and you got what you wanted. He made some mistakes. He threw 4 of them, but like you said, it's those key plays. It's just certain plays that gotta be made at certain times. Like it's 2 times on 2 separate drives where it could have been even more disasters. You know what I'm saying? But I give you the fact that. But the thing is, if y'all scored, and now you put this guy under the gun. So now you got Lamar Jackson under the gun to where it's like, all right, look, you down by 1. We got Tuck over. We got Tuck over here. You get us in field goal range. We can we can get out of here with a 2-point win. You know what I'm saying? So the ups the ante of the game, especially if y'all would have scored to go up by 1 or whatever the case may be. But like I said, it was power against powers. All right, our strength in the running game versus your strength in the defensive run game. So, and then I think at the end of the day, man, I think we just got this one. Like it could have went so many different ways on both sides.
Yeah, that's true. I just think that I think that you just gotta try it though. Like if your strength is running the ball, I think 15 carries between your 2 running backs is just not enough to say, well, let's see what we're gonna do. Let's test the waters. We've played against, obviously we played against y'all before. Chubb has never had 8 carries for 16 yards. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's just like one of those things where it's like you didn't even try. You got one of the best offensive lines, if not the best offensive line in the NFL. Now, granted, Conklin went out. You know what I mean? Conklin went out, so that's another injury to the offensive line. But then you have one of the best running backs in the game. You have probably the best running back tandem in the game, and you don't even try. You just said, you know what? they're gonna come down in the box, so we're not even gonna try to run the ball. Now you got to keep it honest. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it honest, and you never know. You a block here, a block there. You know what I mean? You get 5-6 yards. You know what I mean? So if you don't even try, I mean, you run 15 times from the running back's position. That, to me, that means you just gave up. Like, our game plan today is we just not even, we're gonna put it in Baker's hands. Like, no, make the Ravens put it in his hands. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make y'all put it in his hands, not run 15 times like that. That just was that was just idiotic to me. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, you know me anyway. Like, my philosophy is I'm coming out and I'm gonna do what I do best, and you just gonna have to stop me. Like, I'm running it 15, 20 times with Nick Chubb, and about 10 to 15 with Kareem Hunt, and you just gonna have to show the stat sheet. Gonna have to show me. You know what I mean? Because there's no attrition when it comes to the game of football when you just stepping back and you just letting it happen. You know what I mean? You stepping back, you letting it happen. You know, it's easier. It's easier for me because, I mean, you get tired on the football field, obviously, and that's coming from a corner. Like, when you're running around chasing wide receivers all day. But I think when you take time off the clock and you methodically plan that offense, I think you got a better chance of tiring out a defense than you do when you just letting Baker go out there and hit people in the hands or overthrow people. So, so I don't know. That was a childish way of looking at it at the end there. That was a little petty, but whatever. Anything else you got to say about that one, brother?
Oh no, man. Let's go Ravens. You already know how I'm gonna end it. We got the dub.
Right. Yeah, man. Congratulations out to y'all because we ain't want it, bro. We gift wrapped it. Anyway, moving along. Next topic. How far can the Patriots go? Now, this one is interesting because I remember at the beginning of the year, a lot of the national sports news pundits were kind of down on the Patriots and down on Bill Belichick. Although they praised like some of the free agent decisions that he made, but they didn't think that he would go anywhere with the team that he has now. And now we're looking at a team that is real hot, one of the hottest teams, if not the hottest team in the NFL. We're looking at a competent rookie quarterback. The defense is playing well, and I'm just wondering how far can they go now. I believe that with that defense and that with the no mistakes offensive football, they can go pretty far. I think when they run into like a more polished, more experienced offense, like, let's hypothetically say they are in a wild card against y'all, for instance, Ravens, for instance. You know what I mean? That's a tough one. That'll be a tough one to call. You know what I mean? Just because y'all have a tendency to pull out games using Lamar, you know what I mean, versus other, like they beat us down, you know what I mean? They beat us down. They beat us down. So I can't say like, oh, we'll go up against them again and we'll beat them down. Like, you never know any given Sunday, as they say. But I think they're a more solid team, a more foundation. Their team has a stronger foundation than most. One, because I don't think they have as many injuries to key positions like we do or y'all do or anything like that. But I think they can go pretty far, man. I would have to, if I guess, I would have to say divisionals. You know what I mean? Just specifically because of that foundation and that foundation on defense. That boy Matthew Judon is over there acting a fool. And I mean that in a good way. But anyway, man, I'm gonna let you talk about that. How far can you go? How far can they go? Even though he don't like mac and cheese.
One forget. Yeah, we're why he left Baltimore because he don't like mac and never mind. But nah, I think just looking at the rest of the season, I think they can go pretty far. Right now, they're leading the division at 2-1. You know what I mean? They're 8-4. Uh, Buffalo was right behind them at 7-4, but they and Buffalo also got 3 division wins. Now key matchups coming down, they still got Buffalo twice. So
Hmm.
they just beat Tennessee, which was a big win, 13-36, big win. Um, Before that, they beat on Atlanta. Okay. Then it was y'all. Like they really like, yeah, they stacking wins, but it's like look at the teams that they're playing that they're stacking these wins on. They stacking the win on the Jets. They got one on the Chargers, which is, yeah, they supposed to be hotter than what they are, but the Chargers really like middle of the pack. The Panthers, same thing, same scenario. They started off hot and then injuries plagued them. Same thing with y'all. Y'all started out pretty decent. Now y'all have kind of been middle of the pack. Atlanta and then Tennessee, which is starting to fall short. So now when you look down the stretch, you got you got Buffalo on next Monday. Yeah, they got Buffalo next Monday. Then they get a bye week 14. So if you wasn't healthy, now you get a week right before quote unquote playoff time. And then you come off of the bye, and then you got a Saturday game against the Colts, which kind of middle. You never know what you're gonna get with them. They still can make a huge playoff push. Then you got Buffalo again, Jacksonville, Miami. Which Miami and Jacksonville at this point is just playing spoilers. So, and they already and the Patriots are 8-4. So, you know what I'm saying? Like right now, they can they can make a nice playoff push and be right there in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, they're sitting at 8-4 right now, first in their division. So and then you got Buffalo right behind them. So even if they go to a wild card spot, it might be something crazy to where they get a third game against Buffalo. But it's just those type of bigger teams that they really haven't faced this year. They haven't been facing no legendary quarterbacks, no top tier offenses, no top tier defenses that's just gonna, you know what I'm saying, run it down. And the ones that they did, they lost to. You know what I'm saying? Like they Miami already got a win on them earlier in the season. They
Yeah,
lost to the
Miami. We ain't
Bucks.
gonna call Miami top tier though, but yeah, I feel you.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I went back and seen some of the losses that they had. They lost to Dallas. So it's like, okay, so now some of these teams you see that's in the playoffs, like the Bucks, the Cowboys, maybe the Saints, depending on how stuff fall. That's that's probably it. Maybe the Chargers, depending on how I fall, and maybe the Titans. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you got a couple maybe playoff contenders and like maybe two solid ones that you played against. And now that you hitting this run right on stride, I can only see maybe a couple of teams knocking them off. You know, Buffalo always has a chance because this ain't the same old Buffalo team. So Buffalo can definitely give them a run for their money, and you got to play them twice. You know, you got to play them twice in two big games. Um, one in prime time, and then one on just on a normal Sunday afternoon. But then then you got Miami that already beat you. That's also a division game. And then you got the Buffalo. So I don't know, man. I think they can go pretty far. Like you said, they got a competent young quarterback. Their defense is getting some of these acquisitions that they got is coming in and doing their thing. As far as the free agent acquisitions that they got, uh, do I see Patriots of old when I look at them? Nah. But as far as it just being Bill Belichick over there and that type of organization, can they make one of those type of runs? Yeah. Because this is why we watch the game. We watch the game for teams to go 500 and go 5-5 the first 10 weeks, and then they go on a run and don't maybe drop one more game, sneak into the playoffs, and then go on a tear all the way through. You know what I mean? And then next thing you know, they playing in the Super Bowl. Like that's why we watch it. Is most of the time it's always one of them sleeper teams that you like. All right, well, we seen them getting into the playoffs, but we ain't see them going that far. Oh snap, they won. Like okay, well next week, man, they definitely gonna lose next. Oh snap, now they in the division. Oh, championship game. Oh snap, they just went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And now you got
Right.
a Cinderella story on your hand, and then oh my God, now you got a 30 for 30 out of nowhere. But I don't know. Do I think they can really do that right this year? No. But as the future goes, yes, I think whatever they do this year, I think they're going to try to top it and be back in the pure form next year. So Buffalo need to tighten up the reins because they just now starting to be one of those top teams in the division. Up on by Tom Brady for so long. Now you got a shot to be the big dogs and don't let it slip through your fingers because they on their heels real quick, right? Because right now they lead the division. So
Yep.
it's gonna be interesting to see, man. It's definitely gonna be interesting to see.
I think one point I'm gonna address is that you brought up was the Panthers. I think the Panthers is a little bit different because when they went 3-0, like they beat the bottom of the barrel teams in the NFL, like first 3 weeks, like bottom of the barrel. And then so you look at the team, you look at those teams, and I said that on the 4-3 podcast too, I believe, where you look at those teams and you say, well, yeah, they 3-0, so you can be hyped. You know what I'm saying? They beat who they were supposed to beat, and that's always my argument. Like if it's three teams that are bottom of the barrel and you beat them and you're supposed to beat them, I'm gonna still give you credit. It's the NFL. You could have lost to any one of those teams. However, uh, I think the Patriots is a little bit different just for the simple fact, yeah, they beat who they were supposed to beat, and they lost a few games where you was like, oh, that loss was kind of sketchy. You know what I mean? Like, how did you drop that game here? Like Miami, for instance. Miami is one of those teams who they play hard every week, and you know what I'm saying. They taking L's. I mean, they taking L's, but they play hard every single week. You know what I mean? And they pull off a few that they shouldn't pull off strictly off of right place, right time on defense, right place, right time on the offensive play, and they make it happen. It's an NFL team, you know what I mean? They coming out and they playing hard. Um, so yeah, so of course, you know, unless you the 2016 Cleveland Browns or the Lions when they went 0-16, and maybe the Lions this year, you know what I mean? You're gonna win a game, you know what I mean? So at least a game. But anyway, except for those two teams, and right now the Lions now. But you know what I mean? So you're gonna win some games. The Patriots, where I think is interesting, and this is what I think is why I think they can go a little bit further than projected, is for the simple fact that the foundation is there and you can really, really see it. Like you see Mac Jones making those pinpoint accurate throws in the middle of the field. And you see and you see, you know, you just see the team there. Like, okay, like what receiver does he have? Like he has Hunter Henry. Okay, you know, Hunter Henry, good. You know what I'm saying? We cooking with some grease. You know what I mean? But then you like, okay, like where's the other names at? You know what I'm saying? So it's team football is like it's always been with the Patriots. And I think if they can, you know, compound on that, especially like you said in the next few years or years to come, then I think they can be a contender. And that's just my opinion right now, subject to change, of course. But anyway,
Yeah.
man, moving along. Um, Now, I like to do this every week. Surprise wins, losses, and or performances across sports. You got any surprise wins, surprise losses, or surprise performances across sports?
Most of my stuff is football right now, so it was a couple of them that came in. The Broncos making a push over the Chargers with that whole thing. Because speaking of what you were saying, as far as what the Panthers go, because the Broncos did the same thing. They started off 4-0, but they was
Mhm.
playing teams that they were supposed to beat. So now they didn't kind of. It seemed like they're trying to pick it back up again, man. They're 6-5, and they're technically still in the hunt in their division as well. So That was a surprise win over the on the Chargers. And, mm, see, I kind of want to say, oh man, they lost. I did not know they lost. Washington football team over Seattle.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. You got to go back and watch
I
the
saw.
highlights if you didn't see that. So Heineke, he was about to get sacked and he slipped the mess out of this dude. And I was dying on the couch, dying. So you like, oh snap, he slipped you. That's one of those plays where you will see and you be like, man, he got popped by Tyler Heineke. Yeah, you gotta go
But,
back and watch that play, man.
well, yesterday I ain't gonna front. Yesterday I was down bad, man, dealing with a migraine. So I seen a couple little highlights like in the beginning of the game, little updates I was getting on my phone. But see, that's one of them picks I would have picked and would have been wrong again. But yeah, that's definitely a big win, upset win because surprisingly in the NFC, Washington is still in the playoff hunt as well. And
Mhm.
just it's just crazy how the Seahawks then kind of it looked like they starting to tank it a little bit, man. Russell Wilson lost four straight, lost four straight starts for the first time in his career. I don't know if that's a sign that he need to get out of Seattle or maybe they need to get him some more help. I don't know, but that was a surprising wins and losses for me. Um, and that was pretty much about it. Everything else really wasn't too well. Not the Titans and the Patriots. That was surprising. Even without Derrick Henry, I didn't expect the Patriots to put up 36. I
Yeah.
expected it to kind of be a tighter game. Maybe they win by 7, maybe they win by 10 or something like that. I didn't expect for it to be a blowout. And like I said, now they sitting 8-4. The Titans are also 8-4. A lot of good football going on, especially in the AFC. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. So, what about you? Any surprising stuff for you?
Yeah, Leonard Fournette had 4 touchdowns, so that was surprising. Uh, he had 17 carries, 100 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Then he had 7 catches, 31 yards, and another touchdown for receiving. So that was crazy. And not only that, like I gotta mention this: Pierre Desir ex Brown decided he wanted to get an interception. Yeah, ex Brown. We like to let people go, and then they want to go perform. But anyway, that's just me being petty right there again. I'll do that from time to time. But yeah, Leonard Fournette, man, that was a hell of a performance to get them to pull it out against the Colts because that last one was the game winner. The last touchdown he scored was the touchdown that put him up to win the game. So that was cool, or to ice the game, or whatever you want to say. But anyway, he was my surprise performance, and then Steph Curry in the NBA. This dude the
Oh
other
yeah,
day got into it with a ref and then came out and started acting the fool balling. I was like, yeah, see, that's me. I get mad, get the balling on you. But but
yeah.
anyway.
Some of these guys you don't want to piss off in the league, whether it's football, basketball, hockey. Like they professionals, and it's like, bro, what? All right, okay. And then the funniest part about what you're talking about is like after he hit that one tray, like, man, take wanna give me a tech. I give you a tech.
Right.
I'm like, yeah,
Right.
he's wilding.
And the crazy thing about it is this players that's like that I'll be like, why are you talking stuff to him? Like Michael Jordan was one of them. Like, why, bro? Why do you want to just poke Michael Jordan? Same thing with Tom Brady. Like before the game, I'm guaranteeing to win against Tom Brady. Why would you do that? Now you about to score 50 on you, you dummy. Like, I just don't get that, bro. Steph Curry is another one. Like he can get so hot so fast and he can shoot from the logo. It's like, why? Why would you do that? That's just dumb. But anyway, shout out to the ref for making that moment happen because that's a surprise performance for me. Surprise
Right.
loss, definitely the Browns losing when we got 4 interceptions. That was just trash. But anyway, whatever. Shout out to y'all for sucking this week. And that's why I didn't wear my Browns gear. I got my hoodie sit right next to me. I put it on like, not today, man. They let me down on that one. But anyway, man, we got a bye week. We're gonna get healthy, come back and whoop up on y'all.
That's cool, man. We'll see y'all in 2 weeks.
All right, man. Speaking of Steph Curry and the NBA, we're gonna move to the NBA and keep it with the NBA and say, will Boogie Cousin help the Bucks? He is getting a non-guaranteed deal according to reports, 1 year to sign with the Bucks. So, what do you think about Boogie Cousins going to the defending champs?
Um, I think it's gonna help. Like Boogie, when he's healthy, he has a nice package. You know, he can rebound, he can score, screen. I think he'll be a nice addition to kind of help free up Giannis to do some of the other things that he can do or trying to do, and it helps him in that in the paint work. So, you know. Anybody who knows basketball, if you want to win a considerable amount of games, then you need to control the paint. They got Giannis, they got some big guys over there, but it's like um, why not add another one with a decent skill set as well? So I think he's gonna be somebody that can help. I think one of his biggest problems that is just staying healthy and being available to play and
Mm-hmm.
being able to actually produce. So if he can stay healthy and he can actually produce, and yeah, I think he can help the Bucks, but because they need it right now.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, they need some help.
You definitely need some help. Uh, I think people who look at Boogie Cousins now, maybe like casual NBA fans who just tune in and tune out, may not understand. Like when he was healthy early in his career with Sacramento, he was dominant, like dominant. And then and he could shoot. And I think that the fact that he can shoot, step out and shoot is what's really gonna help Giannis. You know what I mean? Like if so Brook Lopez, for instance, Brook Lopez was another one when he was with Brooklyn, he was in the paint, you know what I mean, getting you those 10, 15 boards or whatever he would do that night. You know what I mean? We've seen dominant rebounding nights, scoring nights when he was over there with Brooklyn. So then he moves around the league a little bit. He gets there and he's shooting threes. You know what I'm saying? He starts shooting threes progressively throughout his career. I'm not saying he just woke up one day and started shooting them, but progressively he got better at shooting threes. Well, that's one thing that Boogie Cousins did too, and started doing really, really great at, like being able to stretch the floor with that package because it's in the paint package is incredible. Uh, so I think once Brook Lopez went down, they look across the league and they say, okay, well, we need somebody who's gonna stretch, who's gonna be able to stretch it, and they see him like, oh, he can stretch the floor. And we may not need him that long if he's healthy, as long as he's healthy long enough for us to get Brook Lopez back. Then we got both of them, and that's going to be super fantastic. But I think he helps fill that stretch big role that they lost with Brook Lopez, because you can't really crowd the paint with Giannis. Now he hit a few threes lately. Don't get me wrong, but but he ain't no Steph Curry, nobody like that. So you know what I'm saying. His dominance comes in taking those big too long steps to get to the paint and yamming it on you or laying it up or something. You know what I'm saying? That Euro and all that. So man, I think it's really gonna help him. Like you said, as long as he can stay healthy. But I do think that they might be underestimating that paint package, man. Because if he get in that paint and he healthy and he do that drop step, I don't think it's gonna be nothing you can do with him. So yeah, he's not he's
Got a
not
pack.
he's not boogie. He's not as boogie of old, but hey, boogie of now will serve as good enough with Brook Lopez out, I think. And that's just my 2 cents on that one. Another fun NBA topic we got, and this one is just fun. So Enes Canter is changing his name to Enes Canter. I think I spelled his name wrong on here. I think it's with a K, but whatever. They do that to my name all the time. So Enes Canter, Enes Canter is changing his name to Enes Canter Freedom. So since he's changing his name to Enes Canter Freedom, becoming a U.S. citizen, I wanted to figure out who has the coolest sports name in history.
Ocho Cinco.
Ocho Cinco is fun. But the funny thing about Ocho Cinco is that the proper pronunciation of 85, I think in Spanish, is ochenta y cinco, but whatever. Ocho
Everybody
Cinco is Ocho Cinco is
here.
is a cool one. But Hey man, I think the coolest NBA name, I think the coolest name period is World Be Free, bro. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's World Be Free. You got World Be Free, you got Meta World Peace.
Who is World Be Free?
Oh my God. New York Knicks, you gotta look it up.
I'm about to
His
say,
name.
like, I was about to say, man, a world peace. Like, I was about to say that. World Be Free. Okay.
His name is World Be Free. I'm about to pull up his. I'm about to pull up his the year he was in. His name is World Be Free, bro. He played from
All right.
75 to 75 to 88. World Be Free.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's
I
the. I
definitely
think that's the
wouldn't have
best
known.
name.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have known that one.
You should have been all those old players. You'd be like, bro, you gotta. But I said he played for the Knicks. He definitely bounced around, but I know him from the Cavs, not the Knicks. Whatever.
Yeah.
Definitely,
Or TJ
definitely a Cavs
Jamal
fan. Yeah, yeah. His name was funny too. Yeah, so man,
Hushmazola.
so I think World Be Free won that one. All right, so that one was brief, man. I thought you was gonna bring up somebody that in the NFL that I had no idea. Like, nah, the NFL, his name was.
Nah, the only one I know that really did it, like change his name for real, was Chad.
I mean, I'm just talking about names. Period. It could be his regular name.
Like, and it was just did it. It didn't had yeah, like it wasn't like it had a huge great meaning behind it. Like, hey, this is for kids out in Cambodia. Nah, it was like, bro, 8-5, cuz it's me. 8-5 for life.
You're right. And then he changed it back later on. Like, all right, I got to go back to Chad Johnson.
Yeah.
One of the greatest route runners of all time, by the way, in my opinion. But yeah. So moving along from that, man, World Be Free. You just won. You just won something again. Uh, all right. For entertainment, we want to move off from the sports, move on to entertainment. Upcoming movies, man. I was sitting watching movies the other day, and I was thinking, man, it's some cool stuff coming out. So I wanted to see if it was anything that you was looking forward to in terms of movies, maybe TV shows that's coming out, or something you might be watching or looking at that you like, hey, y'all got to check this out.
Uh, as far as TV shows go, I'm like terrible with TV shows. Like I gotta wait till like all the seasons are complete. Like everything has to be done, like finale and all of
Right.
that, and then I can go back and watch it. Like that's just kind of how I got to do it because I get mad when I start watching and get real good deep into something. And it was like, stay tuned for season 2. Now I got to wait another 6 months, like just to
Mm,
watch it. So,
like the
because
classic how Howie Mandel do on Deal or No Deal. He'd be like, and we're gonna open that case right after the commercial break.
like, man, come on, bro. Did they get the number or not? But 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 yeah, so they definitely got some good movies coming out that I do want to see. I'm trying to pull some of this stuff up. I know that Spiderman, I definitely, of course, that's Matrix coming out, John Wick coming out. Uh oh man, 2022 is gonna be crazy. If I'm not mistaken, they're redoing the Harry Potter. Well, not redoing, but they're adding to the Harry Potter series.
Okay,
And
yeah, I didn't know about that one.
I'm like I said, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure I seen some. I came across something the other day, and it was like three Harry Potter movies is dropping next year.
And if they
Like
dropping
three of
Harry
them.
Potter movies, the world gonna go crazy, bro.
Oh yeah, for sure. Marvel doing big things. I haven't got a chance to check out that Hawkeye yet, but I've heard some good reviews on it. As far as that go, it's a couple movies I haven't got the chance to check out yet, like King Richard. I wanted to look at that movie. I just think that's just a great story, something that I want to watch. And probably, I got girls, so something that I would like to sit either watch with them or something to where I could look at it and be like, man, y'all need to watch this movie. Sit down and check it out. You know what I'm saying? Um, but hopefully, most likely try to watch it with them. Uh, what else I got coming out? That Batman drops next year. Is that? Yeah, it drops.
Yeah, I think
That
it did
drops.
around here.
Black Adam. Like we still waiting on. I guess they coming out with another Scream at some point in time. Avatar 2 is coming out. Doctor Strange, the multiverse is coming out. Another Jurassic Park is coming out. Like it's gonna be it's gonna be wild. So the movies, is bouncing back. Is definitely gonna get a lot of money. Guardians of the Galaxy 3 supposed to be coming out. Like
Yeah,
what?
we're gonna have some nice topics on entertainment next year. Is basically what we getting at, y'all.
Yeah, definitely,
Basically what we
definitely.
getting at. I don't know, man. I think I'm definitely gonna see the Spider-Man. I'm definitely gonna see that because I'm all caught up on the Marvels, except for the Eternals. I haven't watched the Eternals yet, but I'm getting to that. Uh, I definitely want to see King Richard. Definitely got to see that. If anybody asks me who the greatest athlete of all time is, normally I'm gonna say Serena. So you're gonna be like, oh yeah, I'm a huge fan of Serena's and Venus, but Serena to me is just a notch above. I mean, I guess Venus is too. Whatever, but y'all get me. Serena, yeah, I'm a fan of Serena, so I'm definitely gonna be checking that out. And I'm talking about just a fan in general about the sports or whatever. What she did on the court, and then I want to I want to see everything next year as far as Marvel go. I'm checking out, especially Doctor Strange because the first one was so good. And then you said Harry Potter. If Harry Potter come out with anything, they can drop a part one of a movie and then wait till later on that year and drop a part two, and people gonna watch that. Um, so that'll be interesting to see, if that does happen with them. There's something that's coming out, and the nerd in me is so hyped. It's coming out later. It's supposed to be coming on later on next month, and that's that Dragon Ball Z, boy. I can't wait, boy. I can't wait. I'm watching that. We're supposed to be getting some not Super Saiyan knowledge on there about how it's happened. I got some theories. Man, I might have to hit up S dot like, hey man, we gotta talk about this Dragon Ball Z on there before it come out, so we can talk about my theories. But anyway, shout out to S dot. But yeah, man, those movies. There's a lot of other movies and stuff that's coming out too. But like I said, anything Marvel, especially that Doctor Strange, I got to check out. Um, man, I don't know, man. I think that's the end of my movies and TV shows. I'm always watching NCIS or whatever. Whenever they come out with a new episode, I'm watching that. As far as TV shows go, anything else, man? As far as the movies and all of that stuff or whatever. If y'all got a movie or a TV show that y'all think we should be checking out, y'all can drop it in the comments below. We will check it out. We always like to get back to the people who's watching and checking us out, and we definitely appreciate that. So we're gonna move on from the upcoming movies. I did add TV shows in there as well, and we're gonna take it on to the extra shit. Any extra shit you got going on, or that you want to talk about that happened?
Not besides, I'm invested in this Harry Potter stuff because I'm trying to see. I know I seen something, man. It was like Return to Hogwarts, Curse of the Child, something else. Anyway, uh, on some extra shit topic, man. It's not even. It's really not funny. It just kind of makes me mad a little bit. I seen it was this 45-year-old. No, he got sentenced to 45 years. Um, for a crime he didn't commit, and then he gets $1.5 million after being in jail for most of his life. Like he was in jail for like a triple homicide and was supposed to get life with no parole. And the crime was in like 1979. And then now you realize, oh, you did not do it. We're going to go ahead and set you free. And we're going to give you 1.5 million. Then I seen something else to where some more African American men got their freedom after doing 30, 40, 50 years. And it's like, all right, cool. We're going to give you guys a total of $5.8 million. And it's like, all right, when I look at it, it's like we could have been had reparations, like, but you can't. It's like they're buying people's time back. Like you just killed this man's whole livelihood. Like you never know if they family stopped talking to him just because it's like, hey, you a criminal, you in here for homicide. Like, nah, we can't keep up with you sitting in jail. But then now you come out, you 65 years old, you in the wheelchair, 70 years old, wheelchair, need a walker. Now you trying to rekindle your, you know what I'm saying? Now you got some money. But now you at the last part of, you know what I'm saying, your later years. And at that point, I just don't feel like it's really worth it. Now it's great that these guys are justice is finally getting served. But at the end of the day, it's like, what else can you do besides pay them off? You know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Like I said, I know for the extra stuff we try to make it lighter, but I kind of just seen that and it just kind of just rubbed me the wrong way. Like I would just put myself in that position that me right now at 34, something happened and I gotta spend the next 30 years in prison for a crime I didn't commit. Now I get out when I'm 60. You know what I'm saying? Like 60
Right.
plus, you feel like, oh well, we're gonna give you $2.4 million, but you know, you can't get that time back, but ain't no telling what I went through while I was in jail for them 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Kids probably stopped talking to you, all of that stuff. Now you get out. Now dad rich because he innocent. Like what?
Right.
But I'm 60 something years old. What am I about to do? Sitting at what am I about to do with this? I can't buy my life back. Like, what are you, man? I don't know. But I really don't know what other system you can do. It's good that they are giving you something. They're not just throwing you out there like, hey, I'm sorry. Go live your last 5, 6 years of your life. But I don't know, man. It was just something that kind of hit me, and I just was curious on how y'all felt about that.
Yeah, man, I agree. Like you know what I'm saying? Like when you go to, if you was to go to jail for 20 years, or let's just say me, whatever you got going on in life instantly is changing or whatever. So you can't just like you could give me 1.5 million. Okay, I can leave it for my kids or whatever. But like you said, eh, you just spent 30 years, 30, 40 years in jail. Okay, I done lost my spouse or whoever I'm with, they gone. They got somebody else. You know what I'm saying? My kids is grown. They out of college if they went to college, if not, but they got full lives and kids. And now I got grandkids I ain't seen and how many every years. You know what I'm saying? So you can't just, that 1.5 million really don't mean nothing in the end except for I could leave some money for them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Which is all right. Like, but the time would be great. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when they sentence people to double life. Like, okay, like, so if I die and I get reincarnated, then I'm cursed to go back to jail. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, like
Right.
it's
Like
just like, come
what
on.
is wrong with
So what am I supposed to do in this life now? Like, all right, so if y'all gave me this 1.5 now, I die. Am I allowed to get my time back and the money? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just don't make sense to me.
right?
Like, you didn't really do nothing for me. You just gave me, okay, now I can buy a more expensive steak. Like, okay, like, thanks, I guess. But I'm gonna need a lot more than that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
To
crazy.
make 30 years of jail okay for something I didn't do. Like, y'all gonna have to figure that one out. Yeah, man. That was a good one. That was a good one for extra. Definitely was a good one for extra. I don't got nothing, man. I'm gonna leave it at that. To be honest with you, I mean, I got something, but I'm gonna leave it at that. That was a good one to end it off on. So yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna end it like this. My bad, Real Be Free, bro. I forgot you was playing for Cleveland. I knew you was from New York, so I said the Knicks, but you was definitely a Cav at one point. We appreciate your service, bro. Could have got a championship earlier, but it ain't your fault. Uh, but anyway, I'm gonna end it like that. End it off with a laugh. But anyway, man, Go ahead, tell people how they can find you, man, before we get off here.
Man, y'all know it's your man E Carter. You can find me on Facebook under my Gov, Eric Carter Jr. You can always hit up the business page, the business fan page at First Class Podcast or First Class Podcast Media fan page. Haven't really been on Instagram too much lately, but that's under First Class Podcast or under my personal Space Ninja 87. Still go by that. um, I'm also getting a little bit more active on Twitter. You can catch me on Twitter. That's Easy E 721. You can also catch me there. Still be on the lookout for the anchor link for the audio. Still be on the lookout for the YouTube link for the visuals. That we've been trying to do lately. Go ahead, make sure you always go subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to this one, and then while you're on that, shoot over to First Class and go ahead and subscribe, share and subscribe as well. I think I covered everything, man. I think that if you want to get with me, just let me know.
Yep, and for me, like you see at the bottom of your screen, at the link ENT LLC for the business page, at Siege 101 on Twitter for me. Trying to get back into Twitter as well. It's at the link ENT LLC on all other platforms as well. And Instagram is at the link Entertainment LLC. So that's the only one that's different. You can also go on Kurt's Custom Engraving and check anything out, or if you want something customly done, you can hit us up and we will be glad to make it for you. Other than that, we appreciate y'all listening to CSEE Sports Entertainment and Extra Shit. And thank y'all for sticking with us throughout the technical difficulties. Next week, we're going to get it together for y'all. Appreciate y'all. We out.